1. Concentrate on the things you can control rather than the things you can't. The most significant and useful of the Stoic practices is this. This is similar to the circle of influence notion. It's the capacity to tell the difference between things you can control and things you can't. There are a lot of things we can get worked up over that, when you think about it, are probably out of our control. We can be more productive and less anxious if we focus our concentration just on the things we can control and ignore the ones we can't. 2. Look at every challenge as a chance to learn something new. You don't just accept what happens in life, you embrace it and are grateful for it, because you get stronger from what doesn't kill you. A similar attitude was held by the Stoics. This is a difficult one to master, especially in stressful situations, but it is crucial. The Stoics' second lesson is connected to the first, because, while you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, you can always influence how you react to a circumstance or a problem. We can convert life's challenges into opportunities if we adopt this approach. We can also use life's adversities to help us grow and progress. Action is aided by the impediment to action. What gets in the way, gets in the way. 3. Be grateful for what you have. This is a simple lesson that we must constantly remind ourselves of. It is much more important in today's society, which has become increasingly materialistic. It has been proven that practicing thankfulness increases happiness. It makes sense since it causes you to focus on the things you do have rather than the things you don't. 4. Things go wrong. Don't be startled, be prepared. The Stoics engaged in a practice known as premeditatio malorum. This one works by beginning each day by envisioning all the things that could potentially go wrong during the day. While this may appear to be a terribly sad way of life, the theory behind it is sound. It implies that we are less prone to collapse into a trembling mess when we do face some of life's unavoidable disappointments. Instead, we're prepared and ready to answer in the best possible way. Some businesses have begun to implement this technique in the workplace by conducting a premortem. The project manager will have the team brainstorm all of the things that could go wrong or get in the way of success at the outset of a new project. They will be better prepared to deal with the challenges if they plan ahead of time for these events. I believe that a very practical application of this principle in our own life is in our marriages or relationships. It's easy to be romantic and believe that yours will be different, and perhaps it will. However, the reality is that around half of all marriages end in divorce, and almost all of them have troubles at some point, especially after children are born. You can take preventative measures to assist lower the risk by being aware that this is likely to happen. You'll also be better equipped to deal with any issues that arise when they do. 5. Don't be afraid of death. Utilize it to give your life meaning. The Stoics spent a lot of time reminding themselves that they were going to die when they weren't pondering on everything that could go wrong in their lives. Memento mori, thinking on your mortality, was the name given to this technique. You might imagine the Stoics to be a dismal and miserable collection of people, yet this was not the case. The premise behind this activity, like the last example, is a positive one that aims to improve happiness. Knowing that we will die and that it could happen at any time is designed to provide two significant benefits. To begin with, we should not be afraid of death because we will all die eventually. But, more importantly, it instills a feeling of purpose and urgency in our lives by reminding us not to waste the limited time we do have. In a nutshell, make the most of each and every day. 6. Keep things in perspective and look at the big picture. Taking the view from above, or Plato's view, was a method described by Marcus Aurelius. This is a great tip to remember when you're worried out about something in your life. The goal is to remind yourself that, in the larger scheme of things, we are all inconsequential. As a result, most of our issues are small when seen in the light of the larger picture. So take a step back and remember that nothing is ever as serious as it appears. Consider the entire universe of matter and how insignificant your contribution is. 7. Don't be embarrassed to seek assistance. This is a crucial lesson for us to remember as guys. While it's vital to be resilient, and a little male pride can be beneficial, we should never be too proud or macho to ask for help. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor who reigned over one of the most formidable empires in history. Even he understood the importance of being vulnerable and accepting help from others. Don't be embarrassed to ask for help. Like a soldier on the battle wall, you have a responsibility to fulfill. So what if you're hurt and can't get up without the assistance of another soldier? 8. You never stop learning. Plato famously said, "The more I know, the more I realize I know nothing," many years before the Stoics. This idea was also accepted by the Stoics in their teachings. It's a crucial lesson to remember, especially if you're prone to being arrogant or righteous at times. There is no such thing as a perfect parent or partner, We are all in the process of changing and learning lessons. As a result, it's critical to retain an open mind and give ourselves permission to learn and grow. It's also crucial to approach life with a sense of wonder and the assumption that everyone you encounter may know something you don't.